Welcome to the next episode. And this one's an interesting one because what I've found is that when it comes to AI, there is a continuum that people are on. They're either way on one side being terrified and afraid of it for a variety of reasons, or they're way on the other side where they just do everything and try everything and burn themselves out. Well, there is a happy medium. And why is this important? Because your competition is not really what you think it might be. It's not AI. It is the competitor down the street that is using AI in a smart way, using it wisely and using it as a tool that significantly enhances footprint and impact and everything else. So as we talk about this whole thing about AI and competition, I work with a lot of coaches, consultants, and advisors, as well as small business owners. Let me tell you a story of two different coaches, advisors that I'm working with. One is on that far end of the continuum, afraid that AI is going to replace him, and the other one is on the other side. She is using everything that comes along, and she's going to burn herself out. So there is this happy middle place where, as I've worked with them over the past year, the first one has come to better understand it's never going to replace the human. Never. Number two, the one that was doing everything with it, she's figured out that's just not sustainable. And frankly, it's not productive. Busy is not productivity. And she's learning that now. So we're seeing both of those people come toward this kind of happy middle place. So as we think about AI as a tool, let's talk a little bit more about what people are feeling, because this is important. If you're a coach, consultant, or advisor, you're talking to prospects and clients all the time. And there is a lot of misinformation out there about technology and AI. And there's a lot of good information out there. There's a widening gap that we see between advisors, those who use it and those who don't. The gap isn't talent, it's willingness to start. And let me share my journey briefly. I started with AI dabbling a couple of years ago. About a year ago, I met someone named Robert, who is my mentor in AI, and things changed. They changed dramatically. And it wasn't because I was that much more talented. It was because I started to understand how AI could work for me instead of feeling like I'm working for the AI. And there are times in the past where I felt that way. So it isn't about talent. It's literally about get in, try some things, but if you can find a mentor, somebody who's been there, who's walked the journey, who understands it, and who can tell you what's coming in the future. It may not be the distant future because AI is changing rapidly. That's a critical aspect. So why the early advisor wins when it comes to adopting AI? There's a few things here to look at. Number one, the bar is low right now in many different ways. It doesn't take a lot of effort to get some really nice productivity out of it. Well, what do I mean by that? A lot of advisors, coaches, consultants are waiting. They're watching, they're waiting, they're telling themselves, we'll start somewhere down the road when everything settles down. It's not going to settle down. If you are somebody who puts a little bit of effort into it, and to your clients, you become the person who gets it. You become the person who understands AI. And frankly, you don't have to understand all the technical aspects of it. You just need to be good at being able to speak the language and understand how it applies in business use cases. If you can understand that, you are light years ahead of the vast majority of your competition out there, and you create a competitive advantage. The window where a small effort reads as leadership doesn't stay open forever. You're not competing with the technology, you're competing with those who are standing still. So think of, be visibly ahead of standing still, if that makes sense. That's the bar right now. So next item here is your judgment just got more valuable. More tools means you can better lead your clients and better have those conversations. AI makes your judgment more valuable, not less. It makes the human side of you more valuable. More tools, more noise, more options, more confusion for your clients. That's not the direction to go. Be a guide for your clients. I've written 2 books literally called The Guide's Edge. One is for the person understanding the human side, both of the advisor, coach, consultant, and their clients. The other is about building the practice. And if you understand how to speak about these things to people, you can guide them through it and show them what makes sense. Remember, we're talking human to human here when it comes to your prospects and clients. Being early is the moat. Familiarity compounds while others stall. So the more familiar you become, the better off you're going to be. You don't have to be the expert in the technology. Just keep visibly moving forward. AI raises the price of good judgment. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how all of this pans out. And it's a journey. It's not a destination. So what do you do this week? Well, get an honest read on where you are. One small AI rep this week, repeat it next week. Get consistency in what you're doing. A gap you can see is a gap you can close. One rep this week beats another month of just waiting and watching. Close the gap deliberately, not dramatically. Just a little bit at a time. It is that continuous improvement concept. 1% this week, 1% next week. And when that happens, you can move. So where do you start? Frankly, let's start with something I give away for free. It's called the Free Success Pathway Snapshot. 2 minutes of your time. It shows you exactly where your gap is or gaps are. And I'm going to put the link at the top of the description. You don't have to outrun the technology. You just have to stop standing still. That is what this is all about. Just dip your feet in the shallow end of the pool, so to speak, and start your journey toward the deeper end as rapidly as you want to, but at least get moving forward.